Hi, Nicholas here. Welcome to the Akousunesis School of Music. So today we're going to look at the website, Akousunesis method, and we're going to see everything that I've done in December, which has been quite a bit. So I've put everything. The first thing I've got here is on the homepage of the website. I've got new for December, so we're going to go through all this stuff. So we might be here for a little bit. Currently working on. I've added this section here on, so this is stuff that's queued for me to work on. I put it in this little pull down here. So, and I put that there. What else have I added here? I've put book review and the book review log. That's another pull down. So you can come here and see what I've changed over time in the book review. So all changes in the book will be mentioned here on the home page. I have to update this actual menu here. So let's have a go through the list here and see what I've added. All right, so I've put in what I've done. I put in a parent-teacher starter course, and I've put all the courses now in one place under a course menu. So as new students and new teachers come on board, all the courses will be laid down, will appear in this menu. So I'm hosting all these courses at the moment. And if you open up one of the courses, you'll see an overview of the course. And if you click that, you're going to have an introduction to the course, just a little bit of information about who's running it, a picture of the person running it, the teacher, and location. It might be in a building somewhere hosted with a partner. So it could be in their building. So, or it could be in these ones are just online courses. Everything's online here. And it's a quick jump table to the actual lesson itself. So we've seen that one before. So, and of course, so that's the PDF. I don't do them on PowerPoint. I do them directly on the website now. And that's a link to the video. If you click that, you go to the YouTube channel. So back to the home page. So they're all the courses. I've got a parent-teacher starter course. So I've done 4 videos. And this is very basic from a parent to teach a child that know nothing at all. So it's just very basic and it will build up as we go along. So they're all the courses will appear there. Let's see what else I've done in the December. Okay, the resource menu. This is the starting location for student and teacher resources. So let's have a quick look at the resource menu. And one of the resources is a Songbook Pro, and we'll look at that as well while we're over there. So if we go to the resources menu here, I've added a fair bit. I've done a fair bit of work. We'll go through it overall. I'm just going to have to reread this and see. It just talks about John Thomas Series book, Songbook Pros is coming. Yeah, any information that is coming here. I might put some quick jumps to the pages here as well, because I usually do that with the overview. I'll have a quick jump into them. Well, I don't have any of the song review, but anyway, things get looked at and improved all the time. So I've got certificates here. I've created certificates which, as the school grows, they're going to be ready. So I'm basically creating a skeleton of a whole school structure, and so things will be ready when it starts to really move. So these are different levels of joining the school. So it's going to be copper. So that's like a beginner's level, the copper level, and then it'll be a bronze, and then silver, and then gold level for more advanced students. So back here we're still on resources, right? Songbook Pro sets, I must look at those. So with a song analysis series, all the songs we go through, I've broken the song analysis into different sections here, right? So that's another thing I've done. So we'll just look at that thing we're here. So if you see the numbers here, it means that the songs have been done. Well, except maybe the last two. All these have been done, or these two are ready to go. And these songs are just suggestions. They're just put in, but they're nothing. There's no action on them yet. Right? You can vote for which song you want to do next, and I can move it up in the list. And so I've linked. These are all links now to the songs, but all the songs are here. Right? Every song is here. So we've broken it up into genre, which can be helpful, and then songs for beginners. So if there's any particular series that I feel is better for beginners, I'll put it here. Like I'm going to try to make this Canon D very. It's just a loop of chords with lead notes, and then you improvise over it. So I'm going to try to see if I can get this to make it a bit easier, but we'll see. All right, so where were we? So song analysis. So the Songbook Pro sets, if we just go back to resources, the sets, I have a list that you can just download. So these are all everything in the list. So it's all synced. So everything here is going to be in the pop set, for instance, and more is in this list, because I'm going to use this list to populate this here, the pop section. I'm going to be using this pop list one. I think I've got about 15 songs in it. If you click on it, it'll go to the store. They're only $5. They're just, you import them into your song if you're using Songbook Pro. So they've already got the songs. You can always get the songs yourself from if you've got Songbook Pro. But I've already done the work here, and I've lined things up and matched it all to the actual song analysis we do. And so it's all synced together. All right, so let's go back to resources. Tuition, compositions. I've added some of them. I'm going to be putting people's compositions here. These are mine. These are old. These are like 2017 stuff. They're just you play them. That's all. Anyway, so there's some compositions there. A bit of information. They're done with Reason DAW software. So anyway, that's not. So anyone any student does maybe a recording or something, and they want to put it up, we can arrange that. Let's have a look. I've got a partners program. This is all new. The bookshop YouTube channel. Okay, so that's for the resources menu. So let's go back. I really want to show you this this Ian Ring chord finder. It's awesome. I found it on the internet. It's very geeky and nerdy, but I'm trying to make it a bit less geeky and nerdy. I'm trying to. It's a bit hard, but we'll see. Songbook Pro. So I've moved all the lessons into. I've mentioned that already. All the lessons are there. Improved the overall look. So I'm making everything a bit more consistent. So if you go to any one page, you'll see that I have the menu, song analysis, and I'm trying to make the look very consistent. After I do a song analysis, I can come back and add more to this. I've actually cleaned this up, made it look a bit neater, and I wanted to bring everything under one. It was looking too messy. So it was, if I pick, say, a song, we'll pick one with words. So they're the prerequisites. You need to do these lessons before you get really stuck into these song analysis. So if you click that, you'll see the song skeleton. All right, so that's all the song skeleton. And then you can close that up, and then you can see the chords, the lyrics, and the intervals. So when you're learning the song, you've got the intervals there. And once you're more confident with a song, you've just got the chords and the lyrics, just as you do on Songbook Pro. And the melody now you're listening in your head. So it takes a bit of time to get to that level, but so everything has a consistent look with a header and a footer now. Every single page now has the same header and footer, so it all looks very consistent. Trying to get all the fonts, I'm pretty much getting everything looking the same. Composition menu and then the title, so you know where you are. The lessons are done with PowerPoint, but I do them all now on the website, so I'm not using PowerPoint anymore. I just create it directly on the website. I think it's quicker. It's just easier for me. I've added an ear training. Look at the ear training menu. I've added an ear training, and they're all based on the modes. Right, so go back to ear. So there's Ionian. So they've got all the modes, and they all at the moment just have group 1 of exercises. There's 12, one for each note on the piano. So what you do is they're all randomly placed. You don't know which note's which, so you listen first, and it plays. It's playing the 7th chord, and then and it's just playing the mode. It's just playing the mode. It's not doing anything tricky. It's just playing the mode. So that's just C, right? And then it's playing. If you listen to that again, and then now I don't want you to play them together. And stops on the 7th. I want you to listen first, then try to work it out. And then once you get it, the solution's here so you can double check. And it also has the finger placements, and also it also wants you to listen to the bass note as well. So you can get a really good feel for the mode. But it's actually got the chord too. Right? That's this exercise here. Right? So they're just the scales, but these are as you come here, it's a mode. They're all Ionian. You just got to work out which. So but now we get into if we go to ear training, we've got all the modes. So if we go to Dorian again, you can click, and you've got 12 to listen to first. So you pick one. So it's a Dorian of one of the notes, one of the 12 notes. So and they're all randomly placed, and you have to try to find the note. Okay, and then the answer will be here. All right. So that's new ear training, right? So that's a top menu. Let's get back to the home page because there's a lot here and I don't want to be all day. Improve the overall look. Fast tips. All right, let's have a look at the fast tips because I've done a lot of work in fast tips. I think I've mentioned the song analysis. I've arranged it in genres now. Okay, so all the genres are there. I've got a vote for. You can vote for a song. So a lot of these songs, if there's a number next to them, I think they're ready. So these songs here, you can vote for any of these if you want to do first, or you can suggest a song. And you can just do that with this form here. Suggest a song or vote for a song. If you click on that, you'll be able to put in what is the name of the song you want, what's the artist. And if you've got a Chordify link, you can shove it in there as well. I can have a look at it. All right, let's go back. So we're just going to look at the fast tips now. I did the ear training menu, so that's good. Currently updating all the exercises. Well, I've finished. Yeah, I'll leave that fast tips because we're going to. Let's just look at this first, then we'll go back to the fast tips. Currently updating all the exercises. Well, I think I've actually finished that. So if you go into exercises up here, normally when I spread this page out across the screen, all these are up the top menu. They bunch up into a more list when this. All right, so all these, I've made all these consistent too. So if you click any of them, I've changed them all too. They now have all exercises. I've got to fix this up here. When it's small, it does this. All exercises now will be in this fashion where you listen first, right? And and they'll be at various speeds too. That might be a little fast, but it's not a difficult one, right? And the answer is blowing in the wind. The answer's right here, right? And it shows you the finger placement exercise for it. Okay. All my exercises will all be done like this from now on. I think it kills two birds with one stone because you're ear training as well as practicing an exercise. So and I'm going to take them. All the exercises are going to be taken from songs to make it a bit more interesting and fun. So it's like you're learning. So I might pick a tricky, like bit of a song, like "Flight of the Bumblebee," for instance. Right. This one I've supplied the actual notes as well, but I've got the exercise here. There is not sure what that is. That's a bug of some sort. So you play it first before you look at it. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. All right, it's a bit fast. That's the exercise, right? All that is that whole line. If you listen, they're sort of in fours. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so it's just going down. Right. Now, if you're not sure of how to put your fingers, well, I've got them all here. Right, so I have it, and it just runs down like that. Right, and just shows you what to do with your fingers here. So, that's a silly thing. So they're the exercises, all right? Some of them I might have sheet music, some I might not. I put it here because this one is like there's a lot of notes. And it might be helpful for people coming in from the classical who are good at reading notation and want to start training the ear a bit. This might be useful. So I need feedback from students to be able to determine, I might have a pull down for this. You can't pull down images on Google Sites, unfortunately. What am I doing now? So let's go back home. So that's exercises. Let's have a look. So latest book revision log will be here on the home page. Yes. So there's the book revision. I've got to update this to revision 4 now because the menu's changed here. All the book changes I will update them here. And I use this to create the update video. And all the previous changes will be in a pull down log history, like an archive there. So I'm going to keep that there. What else I got? Included movie themes for I can put a movie theme in for the song analysis. So movie themes. So because we already had 2 movie themes. And any other genres I'll put here. And any other songs for beginners I'll put there. So for easier songs. Let's have a look at the fast tips menu to show that I'm currently working on. Okay. And we're going to look at this here. And that will be the last thing, I think. So fast tips, I've done a lot of work. And I've brought them all out in different pages. And I've put a lot more information in this area. So visualization, I've got the thirds going in there as well. The 5th rule. So a lot of quick information. Visualizing thirds on the piano. I'm going to go to and show you the scales because that's really cool. I found this app, this really nerdy composer who I'll go into it. He's associated numbers. Let's click it. Where is it? The chord finder. In ring. So I've got a link here to it. And I'm using it. I'm using his to bring in some. I'm not bringing everything because the way what he's got here, it's really cool. You can click I've got this in my book, a circle. You put in, so you got a root note there, right? Tone, there's a tone, semitone, tone, semitone, and so that's the major scale, right? But if you put in here, say, Ionian, like that, it comes up with scales. Now, I don't like this whole representation because I think he's a computer programmer, I think. I used to be a computer programmer, so I understand what he's doing here. This is binary. He's represented every scale in binary, which I don't think is a very good way to do it because it doesn't relate to the piano at all. But it does have the numbers. That number means something. It's actually the binary number of the scale. And so this is all crazy, right? There's a whole lot of scales here. So what I'm trying to do is make a bit more sense of these for you as students. But you can use this to find names. So so if you go back to my page, we'll go back to my page here. The way I'm using it is a popular name for a scale isn't a very good way to remember a scale. It's not very descriptive. It can give you a hint like Dorian, well, Dorian's a Dorian, altered Dorian. Okay, it's an altered Dorian, so it's going to be a Dorian. Well, that's nice, but what are you altering? So, and an altered Dorian is a sharp 4. So a pure modal scale will tell you the mode, right, which you should know. With a bit of practice, you'll visually know all your modes in all your keys, right? And I show you how to do that in the courses. And then once you know that, then it's a simple operation. So if you know it's a Dorian so there's a Dorian, D to D, right? Here's a G Dorian, so that's going from D. Let's, in the key of C, right? Key of C. There's a key of C. Oh, I don't have it shown up. I've done this before, and I should put the keyboard up. Oh, well, it's no point then, if you can't see it on the screen. Anyway, so the Dorian, so this is an easier way, and it's easier to compare between different scales. So for a Scottish pentatonic, so let's have a look. So I've got Scottish pentatonic. I've got a bit of an explanation here. I don't want to go into too much detail because you can just go read this. So what I'm trying to do is I'm grouping these into Ionian or anything Ionian based with alterations, Dorian, and then we can look at, say, okay, a beatbop scale and a beatbop Dorian. What's the difference? Well, a beatbop scale is you add an extra note, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's an extra note. And if it's a Dorian, right? A Dorian doesn't have a 3, a major third. So the Dorian is just, I just played the Dorian, right? That's Dorian. But the beatbop will be, right, it adds, it's not only has the minor 3, it's that. And it's usually that note is going to be a fast note. So if you're in the key of C, it's going to be a nice slide going down. It might not be a nice slide in other keys, like if I'm in the key of G, in the key of G flat, right? There's the key of G flat, right? And I'm the Dorian, right, in the key of G flat. So we're adding this note, the major third. It's not a nice slide. It's not a slide note because it's the C and the B. Next time we're going to bring up. I'm going to do a lesson just on this, anyway. So we'll get right into that. But this is quite nice because you can see pure modal scales give you a lot of information, and they're much easier to remember than trying to remember a whole series of numbers. Trying to have you've got a name, but you don't even know what it means. Scottish pentatonic. Well, what the hell does that mean? Scottish pentatonic. You sort of know what a pentatonic, but there's many pentatonics scales. So this is telling you exactly what that Scottish pentatonic, and a pure modal scale is key independent. So you can apply that over 12 key signatures, right? Ionian, remove 3, remove -7, right? So there's the Ionian, it's just the major scale, remove 3. So you're removing that in the 7th. So you're just playing. And, and it gives it a feeling, you get this feeling when you're playing a melody in a series like that, and it creates a mode. It enhances a mode. So you're starting with an Ionian mode and you're changing it, you're altering it. Because you know all your modes very well, it's very easy to know, well, sharp 4. Dorian sharp 4s are very easy to remember than an altered Dorian. An altered Dorian, what's an altered Dorian? Well, it's a Dorian and you've altered it somehow, but how? This gives you exactly, very descriptive, tells you what to do. And it's easy to remember. So these are very powerful. And then you can start looking at relationships between different modes. For instance, one mode can be, I've said it here, I don't want to go too far into that because I did it here. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it because I have to read it again. Hindu, area dominant. Beatbop modes. Beatbop, you've had the extra note. Well, we just did that. Locrian. So I'm going to use the chord finder to find some more. So what I'm doing is I'm going to his app. And I'm just putting in, say, Locrian. And I'm having a look and I'm just reading and I'm just seeing which Locrians would be useful. I mean, they're all going to be pretty interesting, but, this is sort of like pure modal scales, but I use more of a consistent way to show the changes. Right. So I'll never use flat, flat, flat. I'll never use that. There's no need to use flat, 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 flat 7. That's crazy, right? So that whole thing, you can tell this guy's a programmer. He likes to make it too complicated. It's cool though. I mean, it's very nerdy, but it's not practical. It's not very practical to look at that and then play, right? You're not going to look at that and go, flat, flat, flat 7. Well, you got a 7th, right? You flatten it, flatten it, flatten it again, right? Why don't you just go +5? I mean, it's just silly. And +5 is so easy to find. There you go, bang. Try to find a minus, minus, -7. Oh, So my system is directly applied for your playing, not just theory in the sake of theory. So I'm not going to show all these in mine. I'll pick some nice, interesting sounding ones, and I'll change this flat, 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 flat 6. I'll change this to the better method, right? I'll change it to a pure modal scale with an easier operation, right? And you'll be able to find it much quicker. I don't even have flat 6s here. I always just go +5s. Even though a flat 6 might be more correct in terms of theory-wise, the numbers here are designed for you to find them quickly on the piano. Right? This is to be able to play, to start to improvise and muck around with a particular scale. You're still relying on you looking at your hands and memorizing things. Right? So this is going to grow, and I'm going to add more things here, and it's been fun. And then we can expand on this. Like we can take some of this and in the composition series. And if I have more people join the school, more teachers, that's going to be a lot of fun because they can take over a lot of this stuff because I can't do everything. So I'm just doing a bit of everything, and so it doesn't get boring for me either. I mean, I love this stuff anyway, but I can do a bit of this. If I get tired of this, I'll do this song analysis, and then I'll jump over to do website development. I'll go into my book. So I can really chop and change, but I'm trying to make everything grow evenly enough, and just make things grow. but I've got to get feedback. I got a bit of feedback today, which is good. Wasn't positive feedback, but feedback's feedback. So it's better. Any feedback's good. Even if it's negative feedback, I appreciate it, because if it's very hard to teach online without a student in front of you. It's really difficult. And everyone comes in at different levels and different skill levels. So if you have something that like you're not sure of, or you didn't get something out of a lesson, let me know. That's fine. But try to make it a bit more constructive, and give me a bit of your background, a bit more of your background that, and so if you try to jump into a lesson which is, the song analysis could be a bit tricky. If you try to jump into those without going through any pre-lessons, it's going to be a bit tricky, so all this stuff takes time. Even lesson 1, just remembering all your notes, closing your eyes and remembering the notes. I mean, you've got to do that because they're basic stuff, and then how to find intervals, understanding intervals, how to find them. Lesson 1, 2, and 3 is the most important lessons. The scales aren't too, you can just pick one scale and start with that. And then, that's why I've separated the scales out, because with the scales, you can just learn C, then learn G, and just do a lot. You can do a heaps with just C. You do heaps. But then the course is 17. You click 17. If you do the overview of the course, you can see what they are. How to construct all major scales. This is basic stuff. All this stuff. Intervals introduction talks about what intervals are. Very basic. And learn how to play the C scale, and then all those other scales are there as well. How to visualize and play all 12 Western major scales. So that's just all the scales in one video. Chords, how to visualize fifths, the fifth rule type of thing. Construct chords. So once you've got the fifth rule, it's easier to add in other intervals. Or the diatonic chord. So a diatonic chord is just a chord that has notes within the key. So technically, all these are diatonic chords too. But we use just 1, 3, 5, 7, and I'll just say they're our diatonic chords. They're more our default diatonic chords, and we'll use them as a reference location to change those to create all other chords. So we always just learn our sevenths, and they're always easy to learn. I'm going to put that keyboard up. I should put it up. I always feel like just going into a lesson, but this is just showing you what's new on the website. A lot of this stuff, and then we look at stack thirds and all this type of stuff here. And I'm just keeping growing the courses, that course. What else is new? That's it, I think. God, if I'm yawning, you won't even be here. I pull down for the home page I'm currently working in. I've showed you all that. Okay, so we're all done, I think. That's all new. So I can clear this. I'll put this video up, and I'll work on the Happy New Year, by the way. It's the date today is the 28th. And yeah, so that's it. And I'll see you in the next analysis video. Okay, bye.